Hey, what's up, WWE fans? Welcome to SlamStudios, your one-stop fact shop of all things wrestling. My name's Callum Stevens, and alongside me is my fellow creator and my co-hosts, Jamie and Ronan, and our guest tonight is PSN NXT community creator, MCC 4374. Listen, what I want to do is thank you very much for being a part of this, and sorry about the delay to the intro of the podcast. Right, so as everyone is aware that the following Sunday has, the past Sunday, sorry, has been WWE's Money in the Bank. Dean Ambrose obviously winning Money in the Bank and then cashing in after the Seth Rollins-Roman Reigns match to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, personally, I thought it was good. I mean, Reigns losing clean is quite a shock. However,
he
is one of the most hated stars at the minute, and I think it was a relief that Dean Ambrose finally became face of the company after several attempts. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick over to Jamie, and what was your opinion of Money in the Bank?
My happiest moment of Money in the Bank? Probably Dean Ambrose winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Mainly because I've been wanting him to win it ever since he technically won it against Seth Rollins.
And then lost it.
But apparently because the referee got in the way, blah blah blah, he didn't win it, he stole it, all of that. I wanted him to win it ever since then.
Yeah, it's a great moment for Dean. I completely understand that. Ronan, what was your highlight for Money in the Bank?
Well, I guess the Money in the Bank ladder match was amazing. Cena, Styles, a dream match. No one ever thought
Good
that
match.
Definitely.
Again, Ambrose winning the title. The only thing wrong with it for me is that he only won that night because Reigns violated the Rollins policy, which is upsetting.
Yeah. That was upsetting. So, Matt, what was your highlight of Money in the Bank, and what would you rate it out of 10?
Well, it was surprisingly good. I was really not expecting it to be as good as I thought it would be, the whole show in general. AJ Styles, John Cena, obviously, like you guys are saying, it's a dream match. And I remember watching TNA back in 2004, 2005, seeing AJ Styles then, and seeing how he's the top guy there, and it's like it's still weird to sort of think that all this time later, he's actually facing, it's the main guy from TNA, and the main guy of WWE, and the two of them finally, after all this time, they have their first match together. And I think people don't give Cena enough credit as well, I think, because Cena actually really held his own in that match as well. And
Cena did a terrific job. I have to agree with you. I think the only thing that was ruined was the fact that even though AJ had actually signed a one-on-one contract with John the week before on Raw, the rest of the club had to come and ruin it. Obviously, AJ said himself he was going to be the man to beat John Cena. But if you looked at how he celebrated after, it shows that there was obviously something already going on between AJ and Anderson and Gallows, which sort of makes me think the club never really disbanded as they'd like you to believe.
No, I think WWE still sees money there. So as long as they can, they're going to keep them together because they know they're going to be, selling a lot of merchandise like they do in Japan. Probably one of the main reasons they actually signed AJ in the first place was because of Bullet Club and the fact he was the leader in New Japan. So I think there's still money to be had there, and there's still a lot of storylines they can do.
You mentioned New Japan because the Bullet Club obviously went to Japan together, but some of the members have changed, I believe. I mean, the Bullet Club originally was AJ Styles, Anderson and Gallows. It was Finn Balor, and I believe it was the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks are still there.
The Young Bucks are still part of the club. What is actually going to happen once Balor comes up to the main roster? Is he going to have an issue with AJ, or is there going to...
put him in it with Anderson, Gallows and Styles.
I think
Make him go as a tag team championship.
I think it's time for a Balor heel turn, because Finn Balor is a great babyface, but I think he's been teasing a heel turn for a long time in NXT, and also the fact that he normally uses the coup de grace as his finishing move, but I don't know what WWE calls it, but that kind of reverse inverted DDT he uses as a finisher sometimes. In New Japan, when he was a heel, that was the finisher he was using rather than the coup de grace.
So would he have decided to keep a move that would make him instantly recognisable? Obviously, with WWE being the product it is, they're going to chop and change, aren't they? I mean, it's a bit of a... It's quite shocking because moves have been changed, banned, and
like
takes away
Sasha Banks' finisher.
It
just got banned.
It's the bank statement.
Yeah, he just got banned today.
The curb stomp has been banned.
Bank statement?
Yeah, he got banned today.
Yeah, her submission hold.
When did that get banned?
Today.
Wait, he got banned?
Yeah, he got banned.
Yeah.
That's something I'm not aware of.
Yeah, he got banned today.
Wow.
That's a shame, so that was a good finisher.
It was a very good finisher, and now the questions are, what's going to be done instead? I mean, regarding move changes, I mean, Seth Rollins, he does the pedigree now, a terrible version, albeit, but he's shown hints that he's going back to his Ring of Honor days. He will be going back to Tyler Black. Or does that mean the return of the Phoenix Splash? Is he going to be doing the Phoenix Splash again?
I mean, he used the last time I saw him use that was back at the Royal Rumble in 2015, because he did that off the top rope onto John Cena in his triple threat match, including Brock Lesnar, which was insane, and that was a great match.
Yeah.
Apparently, the bank statement got banned because it resembles the crippler crossface that Benoit used. That's what I'm reading right now.
It's a bit silly, isn't it, really? Because, like,
very similar.
That's what it said.
Right, now that the next big PPV for WWE is going to be Battleground, and
it's probably the most disliked video on the WWE YouTube page.
I think the problem with Reigns is he's more wooden than I'm probably going to get in a bit of trouble for saying this, but I don't care. His promos are more wooden than Heather Mill's leg.
He shouldn't do promos. He should not do
really
promos.
Bad thing to say. Oh, definitely not. I mean, really,
Brock Lesnar gets away with
it. He's just a brute, isn't he, really?
Paul Heyman.
Yes, but
so he gets away with it.
Heyman
Like,
has been managers for a while, so really.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, Brock Lesnar's lucky that he's got a manager like Paul Heyman to do his promos. Whether Roman Reigns doesn't.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, Roman Reigns needs someone like that.
I wouldn't necessarily say that was
Or
true.
just not
really.
cut a promo at all.
He can't speak. He can't really cut a promo.
Just make him a mute.
If he's gonna do
make him a
I'll
mute.
never
do
forget
anything, he should do what Rusev does and just fight.
Yeah.
I'll never forget suffering succotash. I can't get that on my head every time I see it.
Oh god, that's
Sucker is
painful.
succotash. That is so
But the thing is,
cringeworthy.
like, that's Vince McMahon writing for him and giving him these lines and this character to play. Like, if you compare what he was doing then compared to how he was working heel, well, in the match he was working heel against, like, Seth Rollins, because in that match Rollins was the babyface, Reigns was the one who was working heel and really, really wearing him down. So he has actually got that mean streak to him.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if they just let him do that, then people who usually do him may say, well, this guy isn't actually that bad. because they generally tend to cheer heels just for the sake of them being heels and that
Yeah.
they're cool.
Yeah.
I think Reigns' main problem is that he's not cut for promos. I mean, obviously he is very well built. He was a former, football
American
player,
football player.
American footballer,
Yeah.
American
I think it's
football
the way he's
player.
booked. I think it's the way he's booked that ruins them.
Yeah,
And he's
definitely,
not
I
that
agree
bad
with
of a
that as
wrestler
well.
either.
That's
He's-
true. Yeah,
He's not
he doesn't. Again,
He's
like he
not
doesn't
bad.
get enough credit for how good he actually is in the ring.
I
But
don't
it's
actually
just the
mind it.
way,
Yeah.
like you said,
Just ruined
how they
by
book him,
the way he's booked.
Yeah.
and he's not
So,
fantastic.
if I
Like
could-
he doesn't have an it factor like people like Cena or Rock Austin, etc. all
Yeah.
had.
He
I
doesn't have
think-
the wrestling ability. Well, no, we know he doesn't have the pro ability.
Hmm.
That's and the way he's booked, like just not booked
So-
well.
He's a great powerhouse.
Regarding-
Great technical wrestler.
Yeah, yeah.
But not good promos.
Regarding Battleground, obviously everyone's going to have a dream match, an ideal match, and I think Jamie, what would you like to kick us off with your dream match for Battleground, or is there
Current
anything
roster?
you'd want to see happen? Oh yeah, the current roster.
What
of
I'd like to
course.
see for like returns or so on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Battleground is a time of returns and time to renew old rivalries.
If I wanted someone to turn, I'd probably go with. Currently, I'm thinking Rey Mysterio. But I don't know how they would book him
Battleground-
to return in Battleground.
To return at Battleground.
That would be my dream return
Nah.
for Battleground.
Good shout. I think he'll turn for the draft.
Or the Hardy Boys, one or the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. But as far as battlegrounds, battleground match cards, what most likely do you think it's going to be? I mean, obviously the Divas
Probably wouldn't be a big return
aren't all that.
if there was a
There won't be
return.
any big.
There'll
But
definitely be a
for the match card-
rematch between Styles and Cena. That's definitely going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I
Cena
think
will
it's
win.
likely Cena will likely win.
Yeah.
Either way, I think the
It'd be
win
a great
AJ
match.
got over Cena, that doesn't matter. Cena's going to win the feud like he always does. Like
Yeah.
Kevin Owens got a win over Cena, but Kevin Owens lost the feud.
Yep.
Rusev got a win over Cena, but
Lost the
Rusev
feud.
lost the feud.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt
Yeah.
got a win over Cena, but he lost the feud. Like people always get at least one win or one up over Cena, but in the end, it's always John Cena who will
Yeah.
ultimately be the one who goes over in the end.
I
Yeah.
think Styles will hurt
Unless
the
it was
most
like
'cause
10
he
years
didn't
ago.
win clean. Yeah, I think Styles.
That
I
was
think
the-
Styles will hurt the most because he didn't win clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very good point. But what I've heard, and I'm hoping it's going to be confirmed for Battleground, is Becky Lynch versus Natalia. After
Yeah.
I think the
after Money in the
Rivalry
Bank,
match.
obviously,
Nowhere.
I understand Natalia being upset because she's had 4 opportunities to get the title off of Charlotte, and she failed.
There's
Yeah.
also
And
the
yet, I think
rumours.
now-
There's also the rumours of her actually wanting to leave as well at some point.
Yeah, I heard about
Ah, yeah. That one that's a bit of a shock to me, to be honest. But to
it.
be
'Cause
honest,
she's been in
I-
WWE a long time and she's really it's Bret Hart and all them.
Yeah.
So it seems
yeah, I
pretty
think
strange.
the only reason she's doing as well as she is because of who her father and uncle are. I mean,
Yeah.
the only other person who is still injured, who is also riding their coattails, is actually Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
He's out, isn't he?
obviously-
Tyson Kidd.
Isn't he out
I think
injured
he's
for
gonna retire.
forever?
I
Because
don't
he's-
think he's going to wrestle again.
He's got.
He had quite a
No,
serious.
I've seen
I think
pictures
he'll-
of his
I think he'll
neck.
have to retire.
It looks
Yeah, I think he
horrible.
actually retired. But when he was wrestling, didn't you notice he couldn't actually have a good match unless Natalia was there? I mean,
Yeah.
the only
had
other
some
time he
good-
did was
He had good matches
Was-
in NXT, but like he's just so bland, like character-wise. Like he could
I think-
really go in the ring, but like
yeah.
it's just like great, you can wrestle. That's fantastic, but at the end of the day, you're in WWE.
Yeah,
You've
which
got to have
never
a
can do good
character. You've got to be
characters.
able to. You've
Yeah.
got to be able to tell a story. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what he really lacks.
Yeah, of course. Right, the next major thing, that obviously has been revealed is WWE 2K17, which excites me as a WWE fan. Here's the thing though. The first teaser trailer, I didn't know what to make of that.
Was this the one with Goldberg?
Yeah,
this is the one with
Goldberg got
This is the
announced.
Goldberg pre-order.
Which I was very happy
Alright,
with.
so guys, in all honesty, like, do you want Goldberg to return? Considering the guy is in his he's like in his 50s and he has about 3-4 moves. Like, yeah, he had like an amazing entrance, amazing time in WCW, but like, honestly, when you really think about it, do you want him back for like WrestleMania season?
Personally,
oddly enough, no, I don't think he did. He had squash matches, 173 of them.
Alright, personally,
all he did was pick him up, slam him, spear.
I think he should return for 2-3 matches, just for squash matches, and then one big match. Just give him one more chance. That's what I'm thinking.
If anything, he should not be at WrestleMania. Not after.
Yeah, not at WrestleMania. He can't chance it. Brock Lesnar,
he can't chance it. We still.
Yeah.
Has to be like
everyone ever talks about a bad WrestleMania. That's one of the moments.
Yeah, he can't chance it like that.
That WrestleMania was, well, it was 12 years ago now, and like Goldberg has got to be in his 50s. Like, he couldn't really work then in the ring, and now you think 12 years later, his body's going to be beat up.
And now,
I think he had an MMA career at some point, so that obviously didn't help.
He had.
Didn't last
long. It was relatively short. I believe it was 2.5, 3 years at the most, and but yeah, he's getting on a bit. But look at the Undertaker. The Undertaker's 50 years. You know, the Undertaker's should be retiring.
Yeah,
and he still has a part-time contract with WWE.
Yeah, but like, he's the Undertaker. He's not Goldberg. Like, Undertaker is
he's well known for
probably
everything
top 10 greatest of all time.
I tell you what though,
one of the best workers of all time.
If there was to have a big match, I'd like to see Goldberg against the Undertaker. Personally.
No.
I mean, that's just me.
I think that's too advanced for Taker, though. I mean, too advanced for Goldberg.
I think it's just because of their age. I think it'll hinder them.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit too slow, because Goldberg,
no.
just make it look bad. Just make it look slow.
Yeah,
as much as I love Goldberg.
Does Goldberg ever have a match over 10 minutes?
No.
No, he won't be able to wrestle over 10 minutes. That's why he was only booked for squash matches. I mean, he was very good with his squash matches.
It was a very good powerhouse.
It was very intimidating as well. I think he was quite a good WCW champion.
It was one of the single things WCW did extremely well, and that was the booking of Goldberg.
Yeah.
And that whole streak.
Yeah. But do you really? I mean, it's all well and good getting Hall of Famers to promote WWE games. You know, like they did with they've had The Rock. You know, they've had Ultimate Warrior, and they've had Stone Cold. Oh yeah.
They will have Ultimate Warrior for
Is
many
it really
years to come.
wise? I mean, to continue having a lot of aging superstars sort of having to live on past glories. I mean, obviously they're very proud of what they accomplished, but now it's a new generation, and to be honest, when certain names are brought up, Goldberg, Hulk Hogan, it's all for the bad things. I mean, let's be honest, Hulk Hogan has gone completely downhill, and his name should. But the problem is, with erasing the memory of Hulk Hogan, the network would have probably about 6 shows and that had caused that to crash, I think, in my opinion. I mean, MCC,
Punk,
what would you? Yeah, what would you think if names like Goldberg, Hogan were actually removed from WWE programming? Would it affect the network? Would it affect?
Well, I don't think
the product?
I don't think they'll remove Hogan. Like AJ Styles mentioned Hulk Hogan on the show he did with Austin. Yeah, so they do. They haven't erased him, but obviously they they don't really acknowledge him, which is the right thing to do considering the circumstances. So I think down the line they'll probably get back together. It's just like anything really. If there's bad publicity, then WWE doesn't want anything to do with it, which is obviously they're justified in doing that. And Hulk Hogan, I hear, has done quite well for himself pretty recently as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he doesn't need WWE for a while.
Speaking of 2K17,
but to be honest, current WWE fans won't forget about Hulk Hogan.
No.
I don't know what he said.
So,
no one ever will.
With 2K17 still, well, I wouldn't say unconfirmed, but with very, very little information released, what would you actually like to see come of this franchise?
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero, true. Ronan, what would you like to see? What's your wish list for 2K17?
Like Jamie said, I'd love to see the return of Eddie Guerrero. Wasn't the last time he was in 2K14?
14.
I believe.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Rey Mysterio, if he comes back. I'd love the Hardy Boys and Kurt Angle. I'd like to see return of Backstage Brawl. Road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, Road to WrestleMania. Definitely.
Right. MCC, what would you like to see?
Just in general, just gameplay improvements, because it's just the little things. Like, for example, like if you play a ladder match or say a table match, you do a finisher for a table on someone. Say you're Brock Lesnar and you're playing against Santina Morella. You have 5 for a table. It takes about 8 seconds, 10 seconds for him to get back up. Yeah. And then it just carries on as normal. Like, that would not happen in real life.
No, of course it wouldn't. No.
They need to really, really improve everything regarding gameplay with that one.
Regarding improvements, I'd say a lot of people actually said they'd like to see a bit more variations of the moves. I think what the main thing was that they had a stuntman, don't they? I mean, I know they had a few old WWE superstars doing some of the basic moves, but I think what people have said, from what I've seen on surveys, is that they
should
want
do
to
their own
see the wrestler
superstars.
mocap. Exactly, mocap their own.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. But for
I know you have people like Eddie Guerrero who can't do their own moves now, obviously you know why. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can't have people like Andre Giant doing their own moves and stuff.
Here's the thing, they need to scan them a little bit better. I mean, some of the scans are down, like the improvements, you know, like for Renee Young, what was...
Oh yeah, my god. Worst scan character ever.
Gollum with a wig, it was that bad.
Yeah, I think what I would like to see is like Jamie said, the 3 stages of hell. That would be brilliant. Backstage brawls, parking lot brawls, buried alive matches. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but there was a report that there'd been some match types actually leaked by a programmer for 2K, and from what I've read is the rumour to be bringing back the Inferno match, 3 stages of hell.
That's what they should definitely bring back.
And
you know what I'd like to see? You know what I'd like to see come back? Hair versus hair match.
Go ahead.
I don't know why, I just like to see it.
Has WWE ever put that on a game though? Have they ever done it?
I think they did.
So.
I'd like to see a return of GM mode.
GM mode, yeah. Now,
GM mode.
I'm going to sound really old-fashioned here, and I'm going to say the return of the bra and panties match from the Attitude Era.
Not PG enough, not PG enough.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
Not PG enough.
Okay, but it was, I think the women, I mean, it's great that they call themselves superstars now, you know, I'm all about equality, but they cannot sell as well as the men. I'm not being sexist here, but I mean, if you look at who's one of the worst female sellers?
WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, she was terrible. She didn't know what she was doing. I mean, she has improved a little bit since being trained by Brian Kendrick.
She's improved a lot. I think
I still remember
people underrate her a lot because of her past.
Yeah,
she improved a lot.
I mean, MCC. I don't know if you saw, but when she had her first WWE match, she tried to pin. I believe it was It was Naomi. She tried pinning her while she
Cameron.
was actually face down.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. I was just about to
I
say
get
that.
them.
I think that was Cameron who tried doing that.
Yeah, it was Cameron. She tried to
pinned
pin
someone
Naomi
down.
when she was face
But
first.
Oh,
So, in all fairness
Yeah.
to Cameron and Eva Marie, like I watched a match. I think it was Cameron versus Bailey. I think it was. It was on NXT TV, probably 3 or 4 months ago. She was actually really, really good.
Yeah, she was good.
Shit on her because of how awful she was before.
Yeah.
I
But
think
she was okay. And like Eva Marie,
Yeah.
like she's,
Yeah.
she's not good. I'll say that she's not a good wrestler.
She's more of
But
a
when
model
you
diva.
compare-
Model.
But when you compare
Magazines.
her work,
they're meant to
but
look
when
at.
you compare her work now to what she was 3 years ago, she's 10 times better.
Yeah.
So
I think-
give her another year or two,
'cause
she
back
could
then,
be
she was a
massively
magazine
improved.
model. Pretty
yeah.
much back then. She wouldn't wrestle.
I think though that's the thing.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead. I'll let you finish. Sorry.
Yeah, going back to the comment you made about a lot of the women not being as good sellers as a lot of the men, I kind of agree and disagree with that. I'd say, like you guys were saying, Eva Marie, Cameron, who else have we got?
We've got Summer Rae.
Like really bad.
Summer
I
Rae.
Summer Rae's not that
haven't really
bad.
watched much of Summer Rae, but
Okay.
Bailey is fantastic at selling. She's
Oh,
probably
she's
one of the best
very,
baby
very
faces in WWE. Sasha Banks as well, obviously.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
I think the only time that, speaking of, you know, the horsewomen of NXT, you know, your Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte, the only time Charlotte really sold was the moonsault at this year's WrestleMania.
She's just where she is because of her name. Because of Flair.
Yeah, that's.
True.
But
I'd
to go
love to
so
see
far as
someone
to
like Becky
disown her father on TV, you know, to sort of. I mean.
But Dana Brooke
WWE
did deserve a spot on the main roster. And Ric Flair,
Would you say
bit
so?
too old now. Bit too old.
Here's the problem though.
Bit
Dana
useless.
Brooke was a fitness model. She was a fitness model. She's a weightlifter. She's not
Yeah.
really a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at China. Look at China. Look at China.
MMA.
Look at China.
All
she a
right,
great
yeah,
wrestler?
there's no disrespect. There's no disrespect to China.
She was more of a.
But she was.
She
was
She was a
more of a
weightlifter
brawler.
as well.
I think she was weird.
Yeah.
And she played a part. Well.
She's only iconic because of Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. I mean, there's no disrespect to China. I mean, obviously, you know, she did take a few performance-enhancing drugs, and you know that's quite a sad thing to say, but you know it has to be said. Without those and without the help of Triple H and Shawn Michaels, DX, I don't think she'd have got anywhere personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she would have had some sort of push on TV by Vince just because of the way she looks.
Because of how unique she was.
To be honest, I have no idea how good she was in the ring. To be honest, I never really watched her matches.
I just more saw her as a security guard.
But
Yeah.
either way, she's someone who paved the way for a lot of women to be taken seriously in WWE.
Yeah.
Because obviously she was in the Royal Rumble. She's a former Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
She
Women's
obviously
champion.
worked. Was obviously one of the big draws in the Attitude Era as well, which helped WWE eventually beat WCW. So she's she's definitely iconic, like you say. But she was a huge deal back then, and I think a lot of the women now appreciate what she did as well.
Oh, of course,
Sort
yeah.
of paving the way for them.
Did you guys hear that she's meant to win the WWE title?
I believe she did, didn't she? But it was
Yes, it's meant
Wouldn't
to.
invalid.
surprise me. If they had Russo booking back then it wouldn't surprise me.
Vince Russo. Let's. I think he's
Maniac.
he had some. His egomaniacal. He had some good knowledge, but it was a bit the same with Cornette. You know, we can talk about them a little bit more.
Here's an interesting one.
Go on.
Lucha Underground. Did you hear about the comments Jim Cornette made about Lucha Underground?
Jim Cornette's a hypocrite.
Yeah, Jim Cornette is a hypocrite. I haven't actually heard of what he said.
I heard about Vince Russo said about Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they called it not real
weird.
wrestling.
It's like
wrestling.
To me, it just backs up Impact all the
I think
time.
the two of them are the complete opposite of each other. Jim Cornette hates anything that isn't wrestling, and Vince Russo hates anything that is wrestling.
Yeah.
So they are the complete dead opposite.
I think the problem lies with Jim Cornette and...
I think they're both
Vince
idiots.
Russo's... Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say that, but also
At
Cornette
times they can do good stuff.
has had actual in-ring experience, hasn't he? He had an attempt, but it didn't go well for him. Russo.
Well, Jim Cornette obviously has lived and breathed the business for like 40, 50 years, so he does deserve some credit because he is very, very creative, and he produced some really, really good television, but he always needed that filter in someone like Vince McMahon to kind of say, well, all those 99 ideas are shit, but this one I'll take because it's good.
Yeah,
whereas Jim Cornette is so wrestling heavy. You know, like if you watch a show where sometimes there can be too much wrestling, and it just kind of wears you out. So you kind of need that little break in between with maybe a bit of storyline, bit of entertainment, segment.
Yeah, I really, you know, I agree 100%. But I think the problem also lies with the fact that either like Vince Russo likes the entertainment side, so I think Russo has sort of crazy, unrealistic ideas to sort of entertain. I think he wanted to turn it into a more scripted sort of, you know, it's
like roleplay.
Here's the thing: a lot of people are saying WWE, you know, wrestling is fake. Look,
I don't like people who say that because everything's fake.
Not
TV
fake.
series, movies.
TV, yeah, I mean, look at the other way it's
It's scripted.
Look at how fake they are. It's that's a better way to say it.
Not
now,
fake, it's
speaking as a wrestler, even as a trainee, I can sort of see where people think, because they see a finished product, they don't see the weekly training sessions, they don't see the injuries, they don't see how hard we have to work. I mean, I'm out injured after a dark match. I mean, I normally don't explain it, but I was working a match for Preston City Wrestling with a guy called Dave Mastiff. He's a very, very big man, and you cannot suplex a
probably over 300 pounds, to be honest.
Is a 325-pound man without him having to jump. And you know, I'm not going to reveal any secrets about it, but you know, it's like where we land in the ring is so important. We land in the middle of the ring. My injury is because a suplex, a basic suplex, went so badly wrong. Because he's such a large man, you don't know which way he's going to fall. And so it gives you less time to prepare for that. He fell awkwardly. I ended up landing on my shoulder and neck. And I knew I was hurt. I knew something was wrong, but I got back up. He went to find me off the rope. The top rope snapped. I went over, landing head and neck first on the apron, and then hitting the floor. So
that could be a career-ending injury, innit? As you said.
Yeah.
That's what they said. I mean, I've got to have another 4 surgeries, and you know, it sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is very, very painful. So, you know, I can understand why wrestlers, when told it's fake, go off on one. You know, I think people just need to understand that we're entertainers. You know, we're glorified. We're storytellers. That's what we do. We're putting our bodies on the line.
For their entertainment.
For them to say it's fake.
You're just doing all that.
Yeah.
And day after day.
It sort of makes it feel like it's for nothing. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There is a lot of embellishment. You know, there is a lot of entertainment. There's a lot of showmanship. But there's also, we combine, you know, all the holds, the rolls we do. You see you've seen the holds, you know, from the standing lock up to sleepers. Those holds are very, very real.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something, right? When you see them pass out, we do pass out, you know, in a sleeper hold. You know, the whole drop the arm. If we're kept in it for longer than 3 minutes...
Depending on what promotion you're in.
Yeah. What condition you're in, and it depends on how big your opponent is, how strong you are.
Yeah.
Which is why, essentially, it's 3 drops of the arm and the end of the match. That's a little bit of entertainment there, you know. But speaking from speaking from experience, I've been put in a sleep hold where I passed out more or less straight away, and so people think, it's faking it. But when you're put in a sleep hold and you're not getting up straight away, you know, obviously, you know, it's. I think people need to appreciate what we do a little bit more. You know, I mean, it's all well and good.
It's fake.
You know, I'm not.
It's fake. Yet that people train day after day to die in the ring. Such as Owen Hart.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. What are your opinions on people saying that this is fake?
For their entertainment?
Yeah.
They're just going out training to die.
Yeah. MCC, what's your opinion on the age-old statement of wrestling is fake?
It's always, for example, when you're meeting new people, say like if you start a new school or college, or if there's just new people who you're sort of hanging out with, it's always one of the sort of hardest things to kind of do, like sort of admit to everyone that you're a wrestling fan. You might as well like tell them collect dead animals or something. Like it's one of those. It's like a weird. It's weird. Like it's just a weird thing to sort of. It's difficult to kind of say to people you're a wrestling fan, and then the usual response you get is, you know, it's fake, right? It's always the same thing. So it's I think like going back to what we were talking about earlier. A lot of you do see some stupid stuff, like some really
like
silly storylines, and I think it's not so much the fact that it's scripted. It's just sometimes it can be so stupid.
Be over the top.
All people think of is just the negative stuff like that.
You're on about with storylines being stupid, I think we need to have a look at how far WWE have taken it before in the
gimmicks as well, like Fandango and stuff.
Yeah.
No way, Jose guy in NXT, that new guy. It ruins it.
But Fandango could be a star.
Fandango was Johnny Curtis. He was amazing.
He was
Next thing you know, he got the main roster. Fandango, some like dancer.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't release him back in the Future Endeavour periods a few months ago.
They should have done. They actually should have done. Right. Okay.
Needed.
Yeah, I mean it's.
And now it's just some guy on main event.
Especially like Tyler Breeze. He was a star.
Yeah, he was great in NXT.
I think he is the only. He should have been an NXT champion.
He went up to the main roster way too early. He should have spent more time in NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he's regretting being moved up.
Yeah.
Because he's now just like a guy who chills on superstars.
But, you know, like MCC was saying regarding storylines, WWE have taken it way too far. I mean, let's go back to Ruthless Aggression era. Let's have a look at the Katie Vick. The Katie Vick storyline was
ridiculous. Stupid.
Absolutely. I think for an older fan, it's mortifying to actually think that sorry, I'm struggling to sort of I still can't get my head around it.
Speechless.
And it's it is, isn't it? I mean, Kane, we all know as the the big red monster or Devil's Favorite Demon.
Got unmasked on this day
Kane.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
First time over.
Yeah. Oh, are we coming to the anniversary of his unmasking?
Well, last minute.
Really?
Last minute of the day.
Yeah.
Of Kane's mask.
Yeah.
In a word.
But I think, it was what Triple H did was. Yeah.
Go on.
What Triple H did sort of took it a bit far, but that was what was allowed. I mean, it's the aggression era. You could be more ruthless. I mean, WCW had been bought out, and it's now WWE, and it was crazy. Let's be honest here. Right. Okay. next thing I want to draw this one, pal. Regarding now.
UFC
We're
200,
now
I'm
looking at
guessing.
the yeah.
Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt.
If you want to, would you like? Yeah, if you want to take over.
I think
you know more about it than I do.
this is stupid. How Brock Lesnar is somehow getting a way to earn money, which is not part of WWE. It's just UFC, which is stupid. And for that reason, I hope he gets knocked out. It's probably gonna ruin his character because they make him some sort of undefeated, undisputed, ruthless champion. He was in UFC, but really, he got knocked out twice. He wasn't good. He was stupid.
But, like, you know,
He's a
he
former
was
heavyweight
ruthless.
champion.
Yeah, he wasn't
yeah.
good though. He lost twice. I don't even know how he got his shot. I don't know because he won one fight, lost one, and then got a shot somehow.
I think in his last fight he had diverticulitis, which is
Yeah.
it nearly killed it. It almost killed
Yeah, he
him.
got taken to
It was
hospital.
that bad.
Yeah.
And they make him some like
And he,
beast.
that cost him his career.
because that sort of disease is comparable to like people just stabbing you in the stomach and just twisting the knife. It's that bad. And he actually fought his final fight in that condition as well. So it's no wonder he lost. But I'm pulling for Lesnar because the way I see it, he's a wrestling guy at the end of the day. If he beats Mark
But he's
Hunt,
not because
that will
in the wrestling ring-
really push his character.
yeah, but he's not like in the wrestling ring. He can't wrestle. Like this is a Brock
He
Lesnar
can't
match.
wrestle.
Suplex, F5, 1, 2, 3, bang. And it's just like the Undertaker or some special match like that.
It's not that he can't wrestle. It's just that's pretty much his gimmick now.
Yeah, it's
just
a stupid
WWE.
gimmick. It's boring. Like we see that every time.
But the thing
Okay,
is, Brock Lesnar draws as well. He's one of the biggest draws. So
Just
if he
happens every
beats Mark
time.
Hunt, then that's more publicity for WWE. And also, another thing is the fact that Lesnar and Punk are both wrestling guys. I'm naturally going to be pulling for them because if wrestling guys can make it in the octagon, then like how Undead Respawn was saying, like they get a lot of shit with people calling them fake. When if they can actually prove to people that
but
they
CM
are
Punk
that
actually
tough
called
and
it
they can get in the octagon.
CM Punk
But
actually called it
CM
childish entertainment on Twitter.
But
So
CM
he's not
Punk
really a wrestling
was
guy, is
also
he?
treated like shit by WWE, and he's going to be better. Which
But he has
I
no right
understand.
to run his mouth like that.
Anyone would. So the way I see it, if Lesnar wins, it's good publicity for WWE. It raises Lesnar's stock. If Punk wins, it's good for WWE because
Yeah,
the
but it's
UFC
not.
fans are going to think, "What's this guy doing coming in?" So I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. He
Personally,
may
I think
lose,
CM Punk
who
will
knows?
lose.
But
Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt,
just
close.
but
The only reason
I
want
mean,
Lesnar to win-
the only reason I'm going to be watching Lesnar's fight and Punk's fight is because they're wrestlers.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, they draw. Obviously, that's the reason why UFC hired Punk in the first place because they know he's going to make so much money for them and Lesnar as well because both of those guys are draws. They help the business
Dana White
both
loves Brock
ways. So
Lesnar.
Yeah.
if Lesnar loses though, it will definitely like MCC said, like
Very
it
good
will affect
character.
him in WWE as well.
it definitely will. Yeah, that's why I'm ultimately pulling for Lesnar because it would hurt Lesnar a lot if he was to lose to like I think he's in his early 40s. He's about 5'8", 5'10".
Big man as
Obviously,
well.
he's a heavyweight,
Very out of shape.
and I think he's ranked 8th in
But
the UFC
he's very good.
heavyweight rankings. So you know he's a hard fucker.
Yeah, you
So
can't really talk about his
it
height over.
wouldn't-
He's 5'8" and he
wouldn't
knocked out a 7
necessarily-
footer. He knocked out a 7 footer at 5'8".
Yeah,
Can't really
so
show his height much.
it wouldn't. You can't take anything away from Lesnar for losing, but at the same time, like you say, it would hurt his WWE character if he was to lose.
Ronan, what's your opinion on this Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar, UFC
Well-
200 feud?
Well, like I said earlier, like I think it will obviously affect him in the Lesnar in the long run, and I think it will affect UFC and WWE as well, because they've like WWE built him to be this massive monster, and then he loses,
Yeah, as I said.
and then that like affects them.
Here's my issue. All right, UFC and WWE are two completely different industries.
Yeah.
They're both they are both sports industries.
One's more
And,
dangerous. Stuff like that.
well, if you think about it, they're both very injured, and the injuries, can happen and do happen at any time.
Yeah, but I think UFC is more likely to. You're more likely to get injured from that.
UFC,
To be honest.
yes, you are. But I think, I know I sound a bit of a hypocrite saying this, but the UFC is for trained fighters. That's what it was. I mean, originally, if you don't know your UFC history, it began as actually a punishment in Japanese prisons, where they'd literally throw them.
Yeah, martial arts.
Where
Stuff.
yeah, of course, Korea, Japan, China. What they do is they'd throw them into a room and have the other prisoners actually standing around them, so they were sort of, so, and they were made to fight. If they didn't fight, they were shot on the spot. That's how brutal these sort of, yeah.
That's brutal.
And then, of course, it had rules, and now it just separates, fighters from, you've got some great fighters, don't get me wrong, but the whole, I think the whole issue is, I think Brock Lesnar, WWE and UFC, he's got a history of both. I think either way he wins, or it gets a bit more respect for both companies. On the flip side, if Punk wins his fight, which I personally
I don't think it would happen.
unlikely,
I think what's going to happen, he's going to have one fight, get knocked out,
damage.
God knows what happens. He's going to leave.
It's going to damage both companies. It's going to damage both companies, I think, because he's done Muay Thai anyway, so he's always been a kickboxer. He was able to. That's what made him, sort of so fresh as a wrestler. But then for him to sort of, I appreciate heel turns and he's got gimmick, but he took things way too far, with stuff he said about both WWE and UFC. Now, if he loses, I think he's never going to have a career with the WWE again.
No.
But I think it's only a matter of time before he's going to say something stupid about UFC and he's going to be jobless.
Yeah, he will. I reckon he gets knocked out once, says something stupid like the match wasn't fair, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know what MCC thinks of CM Punk's ability as both a wrestler and a Muay Thai
smack talker.
CM Punk as a wrestler, he pipe bomb back in 2011. He was my favourite wrestler from there. I was like, okay, this is the guy. He should be their next #1 guy. I thought he was really, really good.
I think a lot of people.
He was pretty much my favourite wrestler. I was obviously gutted when he walked out and kind of angry at him at the same time because, like you guys were saying, he said a lot of shit. But at the same time, I can kind of understand because he was hurt, he was bitter, he was miserable. So anyone who's in that position, they're going to say that kind of stuff. Yeah. And especially because he's going to UFC as well, he is going to say stuff about WWE because, like, as much as WWE doesn't want to admit, UFC is competition because they have actually taken over the pay-per-view market, and now they've got their Fight Network as well, which is going to compete with WWE now. As much as they want to say they're competing with Disney, that's not the truth. They're still in the sports. They're still in the sports business. People see them as a combat sport, even if some people do view them as a joke. So UFC and WWE, they're in that same fight business along with boxing. So they are in competition, and Punk is going to say stuff about them.
What I find strange is that CM Punk still got his WWE name in his UFC career. He's not even called Phil Brooks. He's called CM Punk.
Yeah, they will draw if they use the Punk name, which he is. That's how they're going to draw. That's why they hired him in the first place. Because they know he's money. It's just like what they did with Lesnar as well. They know he's going to make them so much money, win or lose. I mean, it will do even better if he wins. But they got a lot of stock in Punk.
Isn't it a bit of could be quite a big problem if Punk loses or Punk wins? Either way, he's going to talk smack about whichever place he works for, and I think it's only going to be a matter of time where he's going to say, you know what, fuck this, I want to be a wrestler again. And given that pipe bomb that he dropped in 2011,
They took back Randy Savage. Like, I mean, eventually they'll take back Hulk Hogan. So I'm pretty sure they're going to take back CM Punk. Like, they took back Bret Hart as well. And you think back to the Montreal Screwjob. Like, I'm pretty sure that was a hell of a lot more than Punk's walkout. So as long as they see money in Punk and Punk sees money in them, like they say, anything can happen in WWE. As cliche as that sounds, and as cheesy as that sounds, it's actually true. So I expect whether Punk wins or not, he will be back in WWE.
I mean, I know this is probably going off a little bit, but speaking of Punk, what about AJ? I mean,
that's what I was.
I'm still not 100% sure why she actually left. I mean,
she left because she felt awkward. That's what I heard about. CM Punk running his mouth about WWE.
Now, I'd actually heard something different to that. I'd actually heard that she's pregnant. That's what I'd heard. But
she hasn't been pregnant recently.
Yeah, no. I think it was obviously not the case.
Yeah,
I think she left because she found
a rumour, because there wasn't anything else in the news, and there hasn't been since. So, like you were saying, it's probably because she left because it was a bit awkward being there.
But I think she will go back. Eventually, she'll go back. I reckon.
Possibly, but I mean, at the same time, they've got a new generation of divas, so it may be.
Sasha Banks pretty much took her place.
Yeah, Sasha Banks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, I'd love to see an AJ versus Sasha Banks match.
Yeah,
I mean, excellent. That was. I think that was one of the highlights of this show. To be honest, hearing MCC try to be, so reasonable, and then on the other hand, you got space shots that's running his mouth like, personally, I think Brock Lesnar. I just thought, I think that's going to be a personal highlight for this. I think. Yeah. All right.
Might get a lot of hate for saying.
You probably
what I said about Brock Lesnar, about him not being this undefeated machine.
To an opinion. Yeah, everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Been knocked out twice.
I know very early. We're gonna look at the draft breakdown. The draft lottery. The draft lottery.
The big one now.
Is coming up soon. Yeah, this is quite a big one, isn't it?
The returns. Right, Jerry Lawler as well.
The draft lottery, the brand. Oh, of course, yeah.
What else do we have to discuss for these wonderful fans?
Now, well, as you're aware, it's the draft pick, it's the draft lottery, as it is.
A lot of surprise returns, surprise debuts from NXT. Apollo Crews.
Here's my problem. Alright, with
Apollo Crews, I always forget Apollo Crews is actually main roster, my bad.
Oh, he is.
I always think he's NXT for some strange reason.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Here's an issue that I think isn't going to be so great about this draft lottery, and that's the situation regarding the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. As you're aware, it used to be SmackDown and Raw. You'd have the WWE Champion and the World Heavyweight Championship. Since merging the two, what's going to happen is Dean going to have to be both Raw and SmackDown.
I think they should keep. I think they should
retire that.
Roman Reigns,
championships.
I heard keep Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins all in the same, area, like SmackDown or whatever.
I think they should put Reigns on SmackDown.
No, I think because of the history, they should keep them all together.
Okay, yeah, but
with a few others like Randy Orton, a few of the big dogs, Randy Orton. Maybe some outsiders like Sheamus or Bray Wyatt.
Regarding titles, they're separated. I mean, obviously both of them were highly respected in their own right. I mean, I think WWE is a huge company, but being champion of the world, that's quite a huge accomplishment. So, are they going to retire the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? Are they going to retire the merged one and bring back, like they did before, or? I mean,
I think they should bring it back. I think they should have United States and Raw and Intercontinental SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. All right, MCC. What do you think about the draft breakdown lottery champions?
I think in my opinion, I think the main important thing is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship should be, say for example, Roman Reigns is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and he's on the Raw brand. So he will defend at the Raw exclusive pay-per-view, the 1 month, and then he will defend against the SmackDown #1 contender the
Hang on a
following
second,
month.
no.
So
But you mean
basically,
Dean
he will
Ambrose?
I'm just saying that's an example. If Roman Reigns
Okay.
is the champion,
Ah,
so
yeah.
he'll basically go from each show month to month, just like back in the old days, like the 60s, 70s in the territories, where someone like Ric Flair would travel from the different states and defend the World Heavyweight Championship. So it's kind of like a callback to then. So it kind of makes it more traditional, and it kind of combines it with the new, up-to-date, new era flavour.
Yeah.
So, and it also raises the importance. I mean, it's the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Like, that sounds and means a lot more than just 2 titles.
Right,
Just
okay.
that one championship, the top of the mountain, that means a lot more. And I think it means more if it's defended on both brands month by month.
Yeah, you do bring up a very good point. Ron, what do you think regarding this?
Well, like the championships, I think.
Yeah,
I
the
think they'll
draft pick.
Yeah, I think they're like for the championships. Yeah, I think they'll have the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship as they did before. Yeah, and I think they'll have 2 tag belts again, like they did.
Each
I think
like
they'll-
Raw and SmackDown. So I
Now
think-
I'd forgotten. In all honesty, I'd forgotten about. And excuse me. I know that sounds bad to say. You know, I can't say I do, and we can't do a wrestling show without referencing the tag team division.
Yeah.
Or, sorry to interrupt, or the Divas division.
No.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the 2 Divas belts.
Do you think they'll
I
do you
don't-
think they'll have 2 Divas belts?
Yeah, I think they'll.
No,
They've got enough in
what would
NXT.
they-
They've got enough Divas in NXT to bring up.
I know, but like, yeah, but what would they call this new belt? They've already got the Women's Championship. What would they call the other one?
and
I don't know, but
retired the
that's
Divas
why
Championship.
they got loads of writers. All right, leave it to them. They've got enough.
All right then. Regarding what would you like to see? Who would you like to see on which brand? Or also, though, if you remember when they did the draft pick,